to take off that buff, we have to move these icons in order from 3, 2 to 1 going up over to the burner that he is under. For story mode, we keep him under the same burner and DPS him down the whole time. On hard mode, we switch him between the middle and the far right one. For story mode, we're just going to be keeping him under the far right one. The puzzle, the way it works is you have to clear out the entire right side of the monitors and then place the 1, 2, and 3 in a separate one. You cannot place a 3 on top of a 1 or on top of the 2. It has to be in order of 3, 2, and 1 going up. You can't have a 2 on the bottom, a 1 on the top, and a 3 in another one, which is the way we do it. And then you can start putting them back in the center. The order we have it in is once the burn is complete, we move the first one to the center, we move the second, number 2, to the far left, and then we move the 1, which is in the center, over to the far left. And then we move the 3 to the center, back up to the right. What will happen is there will be a neutral spot, as you can see here where number 3 is. That is where you choose where it goes. You can move it from where it was to where it goes. You cannot keep the 3 there and then move it back to where it was and have the burn work. You must move the 3 down to another burner, such as like here. We move the 1 back over to the right, the left, and then we move the 3 down into the center. We move the 3 back up to the neutral spot, and we move it over back to the right. And then we move the 1 back into the center, move the 2 up into the neutral, and then we move it back to the right. We move the 1 back up into the center, the neutral, and then we move the 1 down into the right. We repeat this process throughout the whole fight because the armoring stacks that the Heavy Fabricator boss gets will rebuild. Also, while the burn is happening, and after it, the boss will have a debuff where he takes more damage from you. This is where you want all your DPS on him. For most of this fight, we only have 1 DPS because one of ours disconnected. Me, myself, X1, and Jedra are up on top doing the puzzle. About 30% through the fight, we jump in after we burn and add our DPS. If we had not done this, the boss would have enraged and wiped the entire raid. Also, throughout the fight, there will be stun droids popping up down on the conveyor belt area where the boss is. They spawn in the center, in the center, you can see where the lights are flashing. On the right, where the lights are flashing, and on the far left, where the lights are flashing. You must kill these stun droids because they, as it sounds like, they stun the tanks, and the Heavy Fabricator droid runs wild. What the tanks have to do is they have to keep the Heavy Fabricator droid underneath the burner. You can see there are yellow hazard hashtags or hash marks on each side of the burn areas. The tanks must stand on these, but not in the center of them, or not in between them, because the burn will kill a tank, but it will debuff the Heavy Fabricator droid, as I've said before. Also, the tanks have to pull a tank swap during this fight. The Heavy Fabricator will put an armoring debuff on whoever is tanking him. The stacks go up to 10, but you want to switch off every 5 stacks so you don't overtax the healers. At every 5 stacks, the main tank will call out taunt off. That is when the off tank will take the boss and until he has 5 stacks. At this point, the off tank will call out taunt off, and the main tank will take the boss again. By this time, the main tank's debuff, or armoring debuff will be gone. And then the main tank will take the boss until the 5 stacks are back up, and this keeps on going for the rest of the fight. Also, on hard mode and nightmare mode, and sometimes on story, there will be probe droids appearing up near the puzzle area where myself and Jedra are standing. When they appear, do not attack them. They will blow up and cause damage to whoever's close to them. What you want to do is you want to use your knockback. For the bounty hunter, it's jet boost. For the inquisitor, it's overload. For like the sniper, it'd be concussion charge. Whatever you do, you want to make sure that these things get knocked away. Since the inquisitor's knockback is conal, you'll need to make sure you face the probe droid that's closest to you and knock it away. I will jump ahead after my narration is done to when we start the fight, because we did have a long time for myself and Jedra practicing the puzzle as it was our first time doing it.
Round 2.
Alright. 3, 2, 1.
There we go. Alright, who the hell is Barathon? I can't
hold your taunt.
Hit it back.
Go ahead and
I
keep
got
your
it, go ahead.
Step forward a little. There you go. Now step back. Get back out of that square. Just sort of swing. Alright, I'm taking.
Firing in 3,
Do not taunt.
2, 1.
Jen, you LOS.
Getting him repositioned.
I'm fine, don't worry about me.
Alright. Ryan, go ahead and taunt. You can use your area on him as well.
Firing in 3, 2, 1.
No, don't back him out of it. Yeah, get him turned around and get back into position. Alright, I'm taunting him off of you. I've got him.
Firing in 3, 2, 1.
Good burn. Ryan, taunt him. Nice. Step forward a little bit. Alright.
Firing in 3, 2.
Taunting him off of you.
Come back here. Firing in 3, 2.
Taunt him. Taunt him off of me, dude. There you go. off of you.
Firing in 3, 2.
Go ahead and taunt him, Ryan.
Firing in 3, 2.
Can definitely feel the lack of an extra DPS.
I'm trying.
It's all good. Toning him off of it.
It's okay, I did exactly. Firing in 3, 2.
Go ahead and turn around. One more good burn and he's down. Taunting him.
Sorry. You just get... like, no, you cannot. Alright, firing in 3, 2.
Burn your offensive cooldown. Enrage. Running
Dead.
and down. Good job. That was enraged right there. We just beat the time.
Yeah, the last 2 burns, Alex and I moved up and DPS'd him the entire time the debuff was on there for him.
Alright, so that's how that fight works. These next 2 rooms are very, very tight. The second you go in, you aggro the group. Luckily, you can hug the right wall and mark your targets and get ready to CC. It's the same room as the first one, and the first mob before the heavy fabricator. You have to kill a hunter creeper droid before he can get off an alarm and summon a murder droid. For us, he mostly got off 1 alarm, 1 murder droid came out. It's not that hard for us to DPS through. Right here, one of the engineers did get DCC'd, but myself and the other bounty hunter were able to shock the engineer long enough to get the other droid down.
I've got to watch the AoE.
For the love of God, just don't even use it.
Yeah, smash, that smash is not good.
Time's down.